We all know that the Lord is a Lord who unites us. He knows how to do that. He loves to do it. That was part of the ministry of Jesus Christ here, united people, bringing us together. And it has happened in other places, not only in Cacuri and Vila do Dé. But there is a bigger story behind what you just saw here, watched here. When our missionaries got there, and that was a priority because there were hundreds of communities between Lábrea and Boca do Acre with no gospel. So that was a very strategic place to be. They started reaching out 15, 16, 17 communities with the gospel, getting responses, good responses here and there. And Vila do Dé, like you saw, was one of the first receiving the gospel. Something you have to understand on this story, as the Amazon has mainly two big groups of people. One is what I call tribal people. They have their own language. They are hunters. They are warriors. And usually they don't live along the rivers. They live deep into the jungle. They don't want to see people, and everyone is afraid of them. This is like a Cacuri, that place that killed the other guy in Vila do Dé. But Vila do Dé is a completely different context. The government of Brazil puts 35,000 settlement of families in the Amazon along the rivers, always along the rivers, for the natural rubber. Years ago, they shipped 3 big waves of people there from a very poor area of Brazil where people were hopeless. So they said, let's go there. Rubber will give you a lot of money. So these people came, and they never created big communities because those guys had to work with the trees. So if there is a big community, people will be doing nothing because there were not enough trees for them. Along the years, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 generations, the synthetic rubber took place. The industry didn't want or need natural rubber any longer. The government left, and those people didn't have a place to go back. No more connection with their former place. And they stayed there. And this is the people we are reaching with the gospel. Cacuri, everyone, all the communities, our missionaries were afraid of Cacuri. Don't go there. We will receive you, but they won't. And they are mean. They will kill you probably. They'll be rude. And they said a lot of bad things against Cacuri, but mainly, and not only one community, pretty much all the communities said the same. Don't go to Cacuri. Guess what the missionaries have done? Exactly. They went to Cacuri. And the first contacts were not easy. Actually, Elisângela and Piloto, Elisângela, we just saw in Piloto, her husband, they allowed the missionaries to come closer to them. The others didn't. They just flee to the jungle when the missionaries walked there for the very first time. But this couple, they allowed them to be close, but they never made eye contact. You know, the conversation was like this, and yes and no. They have their own language, but they already speak Portuguese. You could, no, you could, because you don't understand Portuguese. Desculpa, eu até podia falar português com vocês, mas vocês não entender nada, né? I said, I could speak Portuguese to you, but that would be hard. So those people have a kind of Portuguese like my English. It's almost there, yeah? And so the second time the missionaries were there, because they shared something new and loving. So those people talked about that afterwards. So they had some questions. So now they are talking to the guys and asking questions, but still quite 30 times, even better. So people started getting saved in Cacuri. And having their hearts completely transformed by the gospel. And now they don't have any hate but regret. And they were so sad of what they had done to others. And now they don't see their warrior side as a good and nice thing. They are not proud of protecting themselves, killing others as they used to be. Things change inside them, and they say, oh, we repent. We want to go back. But there is no way to change things. They hate us. They'll hate us forever. So one of our missionaries said, no, they're not going to be rude on you. The same that happened here happened there. Are you sure? Yeah. And the missionary left. During those days, the missionary, they mentioned alcohol. The missionaries were not even there. The chief, they still have chiefs there, the chief gathered the entire community and said, you know what? Alcohol is killing us. It's not good for us. So we will never drink as a community. If you want to drink with your family, just inside your house or hut, it's up to you. But we will never do it in a feast or a party again. And they never drunk again for these years. Even once, we did never happened again. And so the missionaries back there, and they are more willing to go and ask for forgiveness. And the missionary said, yeah, let's go, let's do it together. So some of them came into the boat, and they went there. And there was one little thing that was very hurting, not hurting, but a big loss, was that Vila de Dé had school all the way to the second grade, high school. But Cacuri only schools for 4 years. And they used to send their kids from one community to another one when they got old enough to go to high school. And now they are not allowed to. They can't go to Vila de Dé. People don't allow them. So here come this group of people full of expectations inside our boat. We stop there, but the church already knows what's going to happen. So the leaders come, and the leader of the community, like you saw, is one of the leaders of the church. So they come, and people from Cacuri asked for forgiveness. They said, we didn't know what we were doing. We thought we were protecting ourselves, but we were only attacking you. We are so sorry. And they asked for forgiveness. And they said, well, let me tell you, we are just as bad as you are. If we got a chance and we were used to, we would kill you. But we don't know how to do that. But we forgive you. We forgive you. We fully understand. So people from Cacuri went a little bit further, and they said, do you mind if we send our kids here for schooling? So the believers, they looked one another and said, we are not going to receive our kids here only. But when they are here, they will be like our kids. We'll take care of them. We'll feed them. We'll protect them. We'll disciple them. Just send them, and they will be loved in this place. The Lord just brought this amazing unity that you saw. Vila de Dé built the church in Cacuri even before building their own church. So praise the Lord for that. Since then, the kids, a year, almost 2 years, in 3 more months will be 2 years that the kids from Cacuri are going to Vila de Dé. The Lord really unites people. And stories like that are happening in many other places. I personally was in Canavieiras. People they worship demons and stuff in that particular area, witchcraft all over. And I was sharing the gospel, and the guy said, just a minute. You're talking about Jesus, is that right? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I believe. So you can go out with that. We don't trust Jesus. But we put a team together. We sent there. People got saved there. And when I got there, this guy that kicked me out of the community came in tears and said, thank you. Thank you for bringing this amazing word here. My kids stopped drinking, and now I have a life. The Lord is transforming people. Along the Brazilian coastline, 1,700 communities received the gospel already. And now in the Amazon, we are starting. We are in the second river, and each river is like 3,000 kilometers long. So we are talking about long rivers and very widening. So it does not mean that if you go to a straight line, it's 1/3 of that length. They really go like that. And when we were at the mouth of the Amazon River, the beginning of our ministry in the Amazon window, we had this boy in Bailik cluster that his nickname was Demon. We didn't know the name of that boy. If you said a demon, everyone would know that was Dave. But we didn't know Dave, only Demon. Our area leader didn't like that and tried to talk to the guy, and he was really a troublemaker. Stealing, kicking, pulling hairs, and his father died when he was 2 years old, a little bit less than 2 years old, and the new father was beating him up very badly, especially when his own kids came to be or were born. He really rejected that little boy, and he was 13 years old, but this tall, like a 9-year-old boy, for lack of food. And now his anger and his personality is very tough. So each time he got beaten by his father, he got out and beat someone. But someone is 9 years old, not 13 years old. And people were hating him to the bones. So our area leader visited with his mother and said, do you mind if we take Dave to our center? We have a beautiful children's center there. One of those amazing buildings, a beautiful children's center. And the mother said, do you want Dave there in your center? Yeah, we would love to. Okay, take him. The community, we're afraid. We don't want to see that boy where our kids are. So they came and talked to our area leader. Wow, what bad decision you are doing. It's very risky for our kids. No, we'll take a good care of him. He had never got a hug in his life. So in one of our area leader retreats, Custodio, our area leader, is telling the story, tears coming from his eyes, and he said, I was there, and he allowed his first hug in his entire life. I hugged him, and he was like that. Every time we were close to him, he was afraid of us to get a slap in his face. Now he's relaxed, he gets saved, he's calm, stopped beating people, and eventually, the principal of the local school came to our center and said, what have you done with David? And our missionary said, you have time to hear? Yes, I do. And shared Jesus. Now she says, oh, would you please go to the school and tell this story to everyone? Yeah, we will. So we went there. David's there, quiet, relaxed, smiling, listening to the gospel again. And everyone heard it because the principal at that school called all the parents, not only the kids. At the end of the day, at the end of that moment, she said, you know what? I am the leader for all the government schools in the 32 islands. Would you go to place doing the same you have done here? That's marvelous. David was the one. Used to be a demon. Now he's a David. Opening a door opener for the gospel in 32 communities. We planted 12 churches already. ICM, we are only one partner of ICM. We have built 20 churches together during the last 3, I don't know how many years, about that, 3 and so years. So thank you very much, folks. Thank you, each one of you, praying, giving, organizing, putting this great team together, being a solid organization like you are, that people know that you are doing things. And we are just starting. The Juruá River, this new outreach, I just got a boat for Juruá 2 weeks ago, a new boat. We have 3 teams in 3 places, but there are 900 communities to be reached. From only in the Amazon state, you go, it's a week traveling inside that place to get to the Amazon River. A week traveling. So it's a long way, long way. Please pray for that. I'll finish here with a verse. Jesus that was his last moments. He was going to be killed in some hours. That was his last moments here before resurrection. And he was praying, and he said, Lord, I pray for them. I'm not praying for the world, but for those you have given me, for they are yours. As you sent me into the world, I have sent them into the world. He was praying for us. Also, send them to the world. I have given them the glory that you gave me, that they may be one as we are one. Jesus promotes unity, provides unity, loves unity. He brings joy in unity and capacity to fulfill the task. And together, we'll keep doing, and we will do great because he's with us. Thank you very much. God bless you.